Welcome to Brunswick Beat,
Brunswick County's only television news show brought to you by the Brunswick Beacon. I'm Rachel Johnson.
and I'm Stacey Manning. While Mitt Romney had the most votes in Brunswick County, Barack Obama was able to retain his seat as President of the United States after general election votes were tallied Tuesday night. Locally, there were several very close races, including the run for U.S. House of Representatives. Unofficial tallies of press headline Tuesday night show that Congressman Mike McIntyre eked past challenger David Rouser in a tight District 7 race.
In state races, Senator Bill Rabon and State Representatives Frank Eiler and Susie Hamilton were re-elected. Election results showed Pauline Hankins eking past Richard Cox for the District 13 seat being vacated by retiring District Court Judge Napoleon Barefoot Jr. Learn more about the results in this week's edition of The Beacon.
Pat Sykes already knew she would become a Brunswick County Commissioner, running unopposed in Tuesday night's general election. But she found out who would join her on the board when Scott Phillips was re-elected to his seat, defeating Brenda Faye McMillan. Frank Williams beat Michael Ballard in the race to replace Bill Sue, who chose not to run again.
Bud Thorson, Catherine Cook, and Shirley Babson are back on the Brunswick County Board of Education after voters decided not to change a thing, selecting Thorson over Ray Gilbert by 62% of the vote, Cook over Laureen Hewitt-Williams by 60%, and Chairman Shirley Babson by 57% over Tom Simmons. Babson has served uninterrupted on the board since 2000.
At the Brunswick County Commissioners meeting Monday night, officials approved $1.3 million worth of construction bids for two water line projects, one on Old Shallotte Road and another connecting a secondary line to Oak Island. Commissioners also endorsed a Department of Transportation plan to abandon a stretch of Middle Dam Road near Copus Road in Shallotte. The county's Emergency Services Department will have to delay switching over to North Carolina's Viper radio communication system until 2013 due to a backlog of orders at the state level.
When Brunswick County officials decided in September to consolidate the Departments of Health and Social Services, they were treading new ground. But the county staff found a mentor for the new Health and Human Services Agency at UNC Wilmington, who recently merged the same programs into their College on Health and Human Services. The county will be turning to them for guidance.
One man is behind bars, and a second has yet to be identified in an armed robbery where shots were fired. Christopher Babson, 30 of Ash, has been charged with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, possession of a firearm by a felon, robbery with a dangerous weapon, discharging a weapon into an occupied dwelling, and resisting a public officer. Babson and another man who has yet to be identified were both suspects believed to be involved in an armed robbery at a Supply residence on Thursday, November 1st. If you have information about the alleged accomplice, you are asked to call the Sheriff's Office at 253-2777 or Detective Mike Murray at 880-4942.
Residential housing sales are reaching numbers that haven't been seen in a few years, which has home sellers excited about real estate prospects throughout Brunswick County. While distressed properties are still a factor, foreclosures appear to be falling, while a renewed interest in home ownership has developers building again, just not in the pre-housing bubble numbers.
The Brunswick Beacon is sponsoring a poster contest to help spread the message of wearing seatbelts. The contest is open to people of all ages, but children are most strongly encouraged to participate. In October, 7 people died in vehicle crashes on Brunswick County roads. The Beacon wants to do its part to try to save lives. The campaign to promote seatbelt usage is one small way to do that. Entries will be on display in the Beacon office through the contest period. A panel of Beacon judges will select the winners. The winning artist will get a story in the Beacon along with their photo and display of the winning image. You can also find the rules online and in this week's Beacon. Deadline for entries is 5 p.m. Friday, December 7th.
This month, the Beacon celebrates 50 great years serving Brunswick County as the most comprehensive news source for our community. On November 15th, our readers are invited to join in honoring our past and celebrating our future. From 4 to 6 p.m., you're encouraged to stop by the Beacon office at 208 Smith Avenue in Shallotte. We're across the street from the post office. If you come by, you'll have a chance to get to know the people who work at the Beacon, take a walk down memory lane, and like all good celebrations, be treated to music, refreshments, cake, and more. If you're a former Beacon employee from any time, please join us and share your stories and memories about working for your community newspaper. There will be a brief ceremony starting at 4:15, but you can stop by anytime between 4 and 6 on November 15th. Find all these stories and much more inside this week's Beacon, available on newsstands now. Welcome to the Beacon Sports Report. The West Brunswick varsity football squad pulled within 1 point of Cleveland with just under 7 minutes remaining in Friday night's first round NCHSAA playoff matchup. But a 2-point conversion attempt was denied by the Rams as the visitors held on for a 40-33 victory. The Trojans finished the season with a 5-6 record, and their 5-1 conference mark earned head coach Jimmy Fletcher's Trojans team its first share of the conference championship since 1997. With usual starting quarterback Dustin Duarguz's sidelined due to concussion-like symptoms, senior standout Mark L. Jones served as the signal caller for the first time this season and helped keep the Trojans within striking distance until the final seconds ticked off the clock. The West Brunswick varsity soccer team beat Hartford County 8-0 in a first-round game of North Carolina High School Athletic Association state playoffs on October 31st. West played a second-round game last Saturday to top-ranked Jacksonville and lost 7-1. The Trojans finished the season with 11 wins, 10 losses, and 2 ties. On a beautiful fall weekend in between coastal storm systems, the Brunswick County men's and women's golf club champions vied for the title of the best in the 9th annual Brunswick Beacon Tournament of Champions. The 2-day stroke play tournament took place at Sandpiper Bay Golf and Country Club. The tournament was by invitation only to the club champions of Brunswick County golf courses. Both the men's and women's divisions were closely contested, with the lead seesawing back and forth over 36 holes. The men's event was won by Mike Verhooski of Lockwood Folly in a sudden death playoff against Dale Porter of Magnolia Greens. The women's division was also closely contested. Both Mona Boob of Briarwood and Joan Mason of Sea Trail shot an 83 on Saturday. Judy Nicoletti of Sandpiper Bay carded an 86, as did Sandy Holberg of the Lakes. The lead went back and forth on the final day, but Holberg came through with a 41-39 for a grand total of 166 for the win. Read all of these stories and see more great photos in this week's sports section of the Beacon.
Great.
Who have you got here today?
This is little Jack Russell, named Cider. He's about a little bit over a year old. He just got back from the vet yesterday.
Aww.
And he checked out healthy.
Yes.
He's already been neutered, so he is ready to go and ready to be part of somebody's family. He is full of energy, but he does respond well to walks and sit and walking on a leash. He just needs someone that's going to work with him and
he is a very
spend some time, give him a job.
Definitely. I saw where he has got some Jack Russell in him, and I believe it.
Yes.
He's got lots of energy, so he needs a place, I guess, where he can have some room to play. A fenced yard, something like that.
Right.
Okay. All right. And he's just one of the many dogs and cats available for adoption here at the Brunswick County Animal Shelter. So you can come out and visit every day, but Sunday they're open to the public for visitation, and they would love to see you, right?
Absolutely.
He's the director here at the shelter, so come on out, and they would love for you to visit with their animals.
And take one.
The Brunswick Beacon's annual Holiday Happenings Christmas show is Saturday at West Brunswick High School. Activities begin at 10 a.m. and wrap up around 3 p.m. Santa will be on site with free pictures with the kids. Come get a jump start on your holiday shopping. Details are in the Holiday Happenings special section inside this week's Beacon.
West Brunswick High School senior Amanda Capps knew she wanted her senior project to impact lives. During the summer, she volunteered to help pack backpacks for the nonprofit organization Waves for Kids. While volunteering, she met the organization's president, Kay Wolf. The two struck up a friendship that led Amanda to ask Wolf to become her mentor for her senior project. Waves for Kids is an all-volunteer organization dedicated to providing financial support and essential services to satisfy the unmet needs of children associated with child protective services and foster care in Brunswick County. Amanda is coordinating a fundraiser event at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, November 15th. The event will consist of entertainment by the West Brunswick High School show choir, the jazz band, the dance team, and art groups. Tickets to the event are $3 and may be purchased at the door. The event will be in the cafeteria, and all funds are earmarked for the Philip A. Cook Memorial Education and Development Fund. Additionally, Amanda is selling Waves for Kids bracelets and West Brunswick High School keychains for $2.
Stage Struck Players, the Youth Division of Brunswick Little Theater, will present Dorothy Meets Alice starting this weekend. The production is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. November 9th, 10th, 16th, and 17th, and 3 p.m. November 11th and 18th at Playhouse 211 at St. James on North Carolina 211. Ticket prices are $17 for adults, $12 for students, and $6 for children ages 12 and younger. On opening night, Friday, November 9th, a special will allow one child age 12 and younger to get in free with the purchase of one adult ticket. Call the theater for reservations as seats are limited. For tickets and directions to the theater, go to playhouse211.com.
Several ceremonies are planned in the area for Veterans Day this coming Sunday, November 11th. Local government offices are also closed next Monday, November 12th, in observance of the holiday. Veterans Day ceremonies are all planned for 11 a.m. Sunday at Calabash VFW Post 7288, Noka White Calabash American Legion Post 503, and Holden Beach VFW.
The Calabash Fire Department is making way for its new building. Dismantling of the department's aging building on Persimmon Road began Tuesday. Plans call for the construction of the new fire department building at the same site at the corner of Thomasboro Road. For now, the department is operating out of temporary headquarters at an old doctor's office at 602 Thomasboro Road, and you can reach the station at its regular phone number and emergency numbers.
The best meat is drug-free. That was the message shared last week during National Red Ribbon Week. Cedar Grove Middle School and Supply celebrated the National Drug Prevention Campaign with flair of its own. Students and staff wore crazy socks and hair, dressed as nerds, wore red, and participated in a school-wide assembly where the Port City Spokesman wheelchair basketball team performed and shared personal testimonies.
That's all the time we have for tonight, but you can read all these stories and much more in this week's Beacon. If you have comments or suggestions for us at Brunswick Beat, you can email us at brunswickbeat@brunswickbeacon.com. Don't forget to follow the Beacon on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for Brunswick Beacon.
Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to tune in next week for a brand new edition of Brunswick Beat, Brunswick County's only television news show. We hope to see you on Saturday at the Holiday Happening Show. And don't forget, your complete guide to the event is inside this week's Beacon. We close out this week's show with images from the 6th Annual Habitat Follies.